This was officially the 100th game I have casted for WIHSEA, and I got something special to show you guys. So let's get out of Rocket League as the match has come to a conclusion. If you're just joining into the stream, Pacelli has just beaten Barron 3-0. Pacelli advances to, why did I put 4-0 for Barron? Silly me. Pacelli advances to 4-0. Barron drops to 3-1. Pacelli now has sole possession of first place in Group A for Division 3, while Barron is going to drop most likely to second place. But nonetheless, the 100th match casted for me. And here is, ladies and gentlemen, the graphic I have spent a couple days working on is finally ready. I am sure you've possibly seen it on my social media pages already, but here it is. Grand total of 100 matches casted for WIHSEA. I gotta thank everybody, you guys. I mean, without you guys' support, I I I don't think I get this far. So just the determination of me, learning coming in spring 2022 for Rocket League. A little bit of a monotone cast. I mean, that was accustomed to happening. When you get your first time doing stuff like that with broadcasting, that really gets your nerves going and stuff like that. But over that time period, I got to get better at this job. And, I wanted to continue this because I knew I could get better at it. So, after spring 2022, I was like, hey, let me just make a note in my phone of like feedback for like everything I could do. And I did that. And if I can find that note of feedback, I can list a couple things that were on there. It's going to be a long scroll here. Let me see if I can find it. That was a long time ago, man. I think basically like some of those things on the list was like vocal variety was a big thing. Also, doing the little things like making the graphics on the streams more tailored to what I was projecting with my notes and stuff. Because like when I started this, I used a notebook for notes, and no one saw what I was looking at, so I thought that was a little bit of a problem. So that's when the Google Sheet era began, where I just go into Google Sheets, make a little what's it called, little box, if you will, like a virtual notebook. I'll put it that way, a virtual notebook where I could just list all the stats for like the players, who they beat, who they lost to, their ranks, stuff like that. And it kind of just brought into something like this, where you have one team on one side, you have one team on the other side, and then you have the middle with the team with the school logos. And I think this is beautiful, man. Like what I started from was just a virtual notebook. It literally was a vertical rectangle that looked like a notebook. If you remember those Smash It's kind of like what we see here with the Baron logo and the Pacelli logo, just in the middle like that. And I was able to branch it out. I believe that began after the fall 2022 Smash season, and it just evolves from there. Like every single time I make that note sheet, it evolves because it depends if it's varsity or JV. Because if it's JV, you're not gonna have that much statistics to go off of, especially if it's a new school. But if it's like varsity, where it's like today Barron versus Pacelli, there's gonna be a lot of stats on that note sheet, and being able to have one Google sheet tailored to that with like various tabs for week by week is very important to what I want to do for the program, and make it better, make the streams better, you know have people see this stuff in like one spot besides going into league spot where you got to click tab after tab after tab just to get to where you want to go. But having it in a nice convenient spot is always nice. And yeah, again, just vast improvement from where I started, and then winter 2023, that was like the peak season, because I got to, see all my friends at UW River Falls and had a great time there. That whole season was great as well. That was really the comeback for me, coming off of that, energizing fall 2022 Smash season where, I got better as a caster and wanted to prove that with Rocket League. So that's why I did Rocket League again. And in spring 2023, wanted to challenge myself a little bit with Valorant. That went really well. I'm not gonna lie, the first few streams were a little rough, but as I learned the characters in the game and stuff like that, that really helped out for sure. And the best part of doing this job, besides Obviously casting is, connecting with our community here at WIHSEA. I mean, there's 150 plus high schools here, so, connecting with others is, very easy. We'll just put it that way, emailing teams every week, hey, your pick for match of the week, stuff like that. And, just interacting with other students at state championship events is really something that, just, it's incredible to have. And, I'm grateful to be a part of a organization that really tailors their values to that. And that's why I love working here so much. And I love making you guys proud as well. And again, being able to go to colleges such as North Central Tech, Madison area, UW River Falls, and Carthage College, where I'm at now, is just absolutely incredible. I never wish something like this would happen. And going on in this graphic now, you see that I've been doing this, technically since July 8th, 2021. That was, for a I think it was a tournament with Elkhorn and Two Rivers from here, and then they had to play against other states across, the country. That's where I started with X-Ray, and that's why you see, teams like Elkhorn and La Follette and Edgewood, Walden and Horlick being like the first five to go in there with the unique schools casted. And then again, if you read this even more, regular season matches 65 total, Rocket League 35, Smash 16, Valorant 14. Playoff matches 34, Rocket League 18, Smash 8, and Valorant 8. So yeah, that's a lot of casting for sure. And look at the amount of schools I've casted. I mean, 71% of the matches I casted within the 100 match window. 71% of the time there is a unique school featured, and that's amazing. One of my other goals as well, coming back here for winter 2024, was, to get as many schools on this platform as possible, because, I've picked a lot of schools in the past, but I knew there was going to be new schools when I decided to return here, and I wanted to make sure I highlighted some of the very best. So, going in order for the 71 unique schools casted, since I could probably name you all of these, just to be impressive, I guess. Elkhorn, La Follette, Edgewood, Walden, Horlick, Waukesha South, West Salem, Port Washington, Wausau West, De Pere, Random Lake, Marshall, Bayport, Green Bay Southwest, Case, Jefferson, Stevens Point, Pacelli, Rock University, Slinger, Lancaster, East Troy, BSMS, Bruce, Oak Creek, Shawano, Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin Lutheran, Whitnall, Stratford, Whitefish Bay, Waterford, Johnson Creek, WCA. Shout out to Ari Arts in the chat. I see you, my man. Hope you are doing well. Fox Valley, DeForest, New Richmond, Waukesha West, Deerfield, Williams Bay, Barron, Madison West, Wilmot, Fenimore, Watertown, Durand, Arkansas, North Crawford, Seymour, Bigfoot, Arrowhead, Flambeau, Montello, Manitowoc Lutheran, Winnebago Lutheran, Appleton East, Park, Freedom, Grafton, Bayview, Valders, Kimberly, West De Pere, Baraboo, St. Croix, Lemira, RVA, Martin Luther, Stanley Boyd, Waupun Warriors, and Milwaukee School of Languages. That is all of the schools I have casted thus far for WIHSEA. And, this might sound like, oh, I'm going again. Not yet. Still have the rest of the Rocket League regular season to cover, as well as I believe I can do the first two playoff games, first round and quarterfinals, but it probably won't be at state for Rocket League, unfortunately. But not actually, unfortunately. Luckily for me, I get to go to Lambeau Field to go to a broadcaster student forum, so that'll be a nice experience for me. But I'm here to finish out the winter 2024 regular season, and we'll end the playoffs, and we'll just go from there as far as when I could possibly come back to WIHSEA after that. But I also have Rocket League kicking off for Carthage starting this week on Friday. So if you want to, follow the Carthage streams there, go to Carthage Esports, and I'll be live this Friday for their first week of activation. But, as the stream comes to a conclusion here, again, I just want to thank every single person who has, guided me to this point in my career for WIHSEA. Never thought this was possible. Thank you, Mom, in the chat. Thank you, Dad. Thank you to Mike Dolly for, again, giving me this position and, taking the chance on me, with like little to no experience in broadcasting. I did have experience from Horley going into this, but, I never thought this would be as big as it got. So again, I just want to thank everybody who's watching the stream right now. I want to thank everybody who watches the replay of this stream, and just know that I'll always be your fellow WIHSEA commentator. Before I get too emotional, I'm going to end the stream here. So be sure to tune in this Thursday for JV Week 5 Rocket League. Should be a good matchup if I can get it to be in the works. Nebby will be returning this Thursday as well. But I have been your fellow WIHSEA commentator, Czysz Jr., and I'll see you back this Thursday for JV Week 5. Have a good night.